So let me tell you a story how I almost lost my $3,000 camera on a hiking trip. I was hiking in the mountains, climbing a little bit because sometimes you have to do that during a hiking tour, and hit my camera with my knee, which pushed the camera upwards, and the clip was not held in that holder where it is supposed to be, and instead it made the camera jump off and it fell down. But luckily I had the camera strap around my neck, so nothing actually happened, except for the huge shock. So, and that was my reason for buying PeakDesign. It comes in at a rather expensive price of about 80 euros, but I thought to myself, if that other camera clip for like 15 euros may not properly hold my camera, but I know that there are many people that are saying that the PeakDesign clip is worth it, that it's great, people that are actually doing hiking and all kinds of sport. I decided to go with PeakDesign because I was quite sure that I could trust it, and that's why I bought it. And here you can see how it looks like. The quality already looks, in my opinion, better. It makes a more stable appearance, and although it's a bit lighter and smaller, it feels like it's more stable and secure. What I also want to mention here is the convenience and ease of use. So both clips are, in my opinion, really easy to use. You just put them on your backpack strap, and you put your, you screw that plate to your camera, and then you can just put it into the holder. Now here, the expensive PeakDesign one is actually a little bit more complicated to get that screw fixed at your camera, but it's not really a big deal. Though I actually prefer the design of the cheap one where you can basically screw without having to use that special tool. It just makes it simpler to get the plate on and off again. However, fixing it to your backpack is actually easier with the PeakDesign one. That's at least what I figured out, because the straps on hiking backpacks are usually a bit bigger and wider. For some reason, it's harder to attach the bigger 15 euros cheap version at the backpack than it is to install the PeakDesign clip there. So here too, the PeakDesign one gets the win. Well, and now the security once again that I've already mentioned. By now I've been on a couple of hiking tours with the PeakDesign one already. Now I haven't been on any mountain hiking trips yet, because I haven't been to the Alps again yet, but what I can already say by using the PeakDesign clip instead of the cheap one is that it feels more stable and that it doesn't shake around as much as with a cheap one. And of course you don't have the potential danger that if you hit your camera with your knee when you climb up somewhere, that it falls down, which is exactly what happened. Well, that it kind of gets put out of the holder and falls down, and then the strap will hopefully save it. That's exactly what happened to me in the mountains, and I don't want to have that repeat itself again. Well, and then there's just one more point that I want to mention about the PeakDesign one, the PeakDesign clip, which is, in my opinion, an advantage, though for me personally it is not necessarily an advantage yet. So the thing is, you can also use other PeakDesign accessories with that clip that you've already installed on your camera, so you don't have to put it off and put it on again all the time, but just take your camera off your holder that you've got on your backpack and then clip it straight onto your tripod or something like that. And that's pretty cool in my opinion. And as far as I know, that doesn't exist for the cheap version. So all points considered, the PeakDesign one, in my opinion, is better in like every respect, except for the price, of course, because, well, it's the more expensive one. But with regards to what you get for the price, I think that the PeakDesign one is still better, at least if you do hiking and stuff like that, which I like to do. But actually, if you just are some kind of city photographer and generally not really getting into places where you have to climb and whatever, I think that you may actually also just go for the 15 euro version, Or if you want to try out the entire system of a camera clip like that, then you can probably also go for the cheaper version. But if you want to go hiking or do active sports or whatever, get the PeakDesign one because it's just better. Well, and that's all I have to say here. Now I'll probably link those products in the video description if you want to check them out, and maybe leave a like or subscribe to this channel. And well, we'll see us in the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye bye.